So we'll talk about mobile cash mass transit media. Let's start a little bit with M-Pesa in Kenya, which will remain, I guess, the mobile money business case study forever, payment innovation in major emerging markets. That was actually 12 years ago now when Vodafone launched it. It hasn't actually obviously worked in every country in Africa, but there are still instructive follow-ons like this one. EcoCash from Zimbabwe. This is a rich mobile payment platform hosted by Econet in Zimbabwe, the local telco. And this is part of an ambitious digital strategy of theirs where they also grew and spun off Cassava Smart Tech, which offers financial services plus much more. Mobile money, remittances, digital banking, and all kinds of different insurances. So that's an interesting one from Africa. In France, Orange obviously have been quite the innovator. They wanted to enhance customer loyalty, offering a showcase for showing how a telco could become more than that, a provider of integrated mobile services, including an intelligent ecosystem for mobile payments and commerce. Orange Cash turns your smartphone into a virtual credit card. You can settle low-value transactions by holding your mobile phone over the contactless card reader, an NFC in partner stores across France and Spain. And that virtual wallet is securely connected to a digital Visa card and also Apple Pay. Orange Money became Orange Bank in 2017, and it's the first all-in-one mobile payment and banking app in France. And of course, it's built on top of their traditional telco customer relationship model and data, and they enhance that core data with advanced behavioral analytics and predictive AI. And now Orange Bank, it signed up 200,000 customers in Q1 of 2019, and it's got a target of 4 million customers and $550 million net income from banking within 5 years. That's pretty ambitious. And that's been a journey going on for, quite a few years now. It's 2012 when that all started. This is an interesting area. We very much following around digital identity and how technology through biometrics, facial recognition and iris scanning and such can make it so much easier to move around society, remove friction. And Canada has a leading role in all of that. Verified.me here is one of the leading players around the world, all trying in different ways to get ahead and make their country more efficient. It's a consortia of these companies hoping to unlock value and make lives of people and the businesses that they work for easier. And why not a telco partner in there indeed? I mean, the story behind it, the thoughts around what the difference it's going to make. If you're buying or renting a house, why do you need to prove yourself at your cost to so many different lawyers and entities with notaries, signing bank statements and things like that, which could actually be forged anyway? Can you prove your ID with a securely held token, which communicates trust between the players, but doesn't actually reveal all your personal details? Because lots of them don't even need to know that, whether you're 18 or this is in fact your name, your immigration status, your right to remain. These are facts rather than all the other data connected to it. And could TELUS be a partner in this movement, which promises to make so many more things easier to accomplish? This is on the Verified website, checking credit scores, getting things done quickly online. But that extends a little bit more around the world. I noticed in Mongolia, the local telecom Mobicom has actually gone a step further. It's got approval to issue a stable coin pegged to the national currency, which I don't know the name of, called Kandi. And every Mongolian citizen will be able to use their mobile phone to pay bills, shop online, transfer funds, and take out microloans. And there's a pilot starting in Ulaanbaatar, the capital there. So let's move on from that and talk a little bit more about mass transit, the role of telcos around there, how contactless payments through mobile, direct from your bank account, and connected via various players help you navigate a city seamlessly without the need for coins or have to study ticket prices for the day or get best value, because you know that the system's going to cap your daily usage for you. Happening in many cities in many different ways, but there's a similarity amongst them. This one we picked out here goes way back to 2016, but Singtel, a Singapore telco, was right in the middle of that, enabling and approving the payments by NFC payments again through SIM cards. Similar to that actually is one that Nest participated in last year in Bangkok, their mass transit system, making sure the gate opens very quickly so there's no congestion, making the rules engine make sure that the deductions are made at the daily fare cap is reached and is fair, and lots of connectivity, which will show you some there, the parts that we're enabling the technology behind it. There's no telco involved there, but interestingly, if I just go back, the Line is a big popular social media network in Asia, and that is where they hold the information about the travel account details baked into the feed so that you can see the payments going through and keep a track of it and share it with anyone if you wanted to. This is an interesting one. Matt, there's a role here as well, but it's a very interesting trend and lots of money flowing through it. And where could telco find a role? This is relation, I guess, to supply chain logistics and shipping and transportation of goods rather than people, which would be mass transit in the ones before. Digital freight matching. It's developed to remove inefficiencies, and that's basically trucks full of goods going from A to B. And then when they're done at B, going back to A, somewhat empty. It's a massive inefficiency there. People have been working on that for many years, of course, making money in shipping from the US and China and finding ways to fill up the ships. But connected IoT, Internet of Things sensors on vehicles and shipping pallets make this all a lot easier. Connectivity that a telco could provide, the solutions around that to intelligently match buyer and seller, supply and demand to create the match, is an enormous opportunity to reduce waste, pollution, congestion, and of course all the human time and frustration. And there are companies now like Convoy, Uber Freight, UShip, representing what the consultants at Frost and Sullivan are calling trucking as a service. And they say that's likely to grow to $80 billion by 2025 from a current paltry, seemingly $11 billion. We can't get very far away from autonomous driving. In China, Huawei is obviously a big sponsor, the national champion of the fourth industrial revolution there, investing, taking the lead, realizing and thinking it's inevitable, it's happening, and making their presence felt. But of course, not so much success for them in North America lately, so there are gaps in that space to be filled. We'll quickly cover a little bit on media and telco ventures in media in other countries, see what we can learn from those. We've been loosely involved through our offices in Mumbai about the growth of Jio out of their massive Reliance headquarters, which is in Mumbai. They invested massively, heavily in putting an amazing service out under the banner of Jio, but also leading with the premium content, the latest movies and all that, making it available to users as a way to attract massive audience immediately and play super fast catch up because they were a bit late to the Indian mobile market. But, backed by the deep pockets of the Reliance parent, they've made a massive splash. In fact, the prices are so low, you'd say the jury's out on how sustainable it is to win an audience that quickly and grow a profitable business. But you'd ask the same questions now of Uber and WeWork right now. So they're dominating the distribution of movies and music and news, now partnering with Google Home, as you see there. This cheap digital channel that they've put out there is a leapfrog moment in India. Lightning fast transformational change and making it really difficult for other people to make money out of distributing the very latest movies and the like. So that's India. Hop across to Spain. Telefonica, which owns O2, is a little like the AT&T Time Warner story here. Has built a very well-respected TV video on demand brand called Movistar and Movistar Plus, which has its own brand strength, and people often forget that Telefonica is actually the parent behind it. I mean, just here a little statement, news release recently, 8 quarters of growth, adding new subscribers to pay TV, the VOD model, the biggest player, specialising in big films and crucially original Spanish language series for their home market, not just paying over the odds for big global hits that don't always appeal to Spanish tastes. And the last one I wanted to touch on here is Virgin Media in the UK, a multi-headed beast. I mean, the Virgin name we all know, I guess. Virgin Media runs TV, internet and telephone triple play content in the UK. They also have Virgin Money, which we just touched on a moment ago. And now what I'm going to talk about here, Virgin Trains. We've been talking to them about the Beam service, which is onboard entertainment on top of the latest Wi-Fi deployments, always tricky on trains, but getting easier to do these days. And they're using that to build a relationship with their audience of commuters who may be on, say, 3 hours a day. They start with the access to entertainment and news, a little bit like Geo there, but in this space where it's more difficult to get it, the connectivity is the crucial part to the cement in the relationship. What do they do with that relationship? And they're looking at, a next gen version of a digital value exchange, where beyond entertainment, what else have you got? Mapping, points of interest, location information, becoming more and more precise because of the connectivity to enable new services. Can you actually have a hot pizza delivered to the next stop because you're going to be there in 11 and a half minutes? Such is the precision now of the mapping technologies. Or could you put something in place where you get off a long commute Monday to Friday, drop your dry cleaning over to someone basically outside the carriage and on a Friday, and have it pick it up again just as you get on the train on Monday, because it can be all so closely mapped by location and time now. In more practical ways, Virgin are looking at intelligent solutions, taking the stress out of more common, I guess, everyday pain points. There's late night delays on the train, things are moving slowly. Maybe they can offer you a £50 discount at the next Holiday Inn at the next stop, and preemptively order an early morning taxi. You can confirm that with a click of a button. Worse than that, you're going to miss a flight, so maybe they can rebook your flight for you. This is all about this kind of intelligent assistant. Get your heart rate down. And this is where we see telco stories from around the world converging on this connected journey, with them at the heart of the connection of information and consumer need.